Hello everyone, I'm Abhishek. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to share the Reliance interview experience with you all. Since I'm a electrical engineer, so the question will be based on the electrical only. So I hope you, after watching this video, you will feel confident to attend the Reliance company interview or any oil and gas interview because the questions is almost same for all the oil and gas company. So we will start now. So the first question, the very basic questions that you will go through is, tell me about yourself, about job profile, and the profile in the previous company. So I know that if you're experienced, then you're gonna have a very best answer for this question. So whatever the job role you have mentioned in your CV, you have to describe, and maybe the interviewer will choose one of them topics to, for the discussion. So the next questions is like a transformer differential. Since my job role was like maintenance of electrical equipment, so the basic uh, the basic equipments in the any industry is like transformer, then motor, generator. These are the basic equipments. So you have to study all these equipments details in detail. Sorry. So the basic questions they have asked, like, what is the transformer differential? How do you implement the transformer differentials? About the testing procedures of the transformer differential. Then since the phase matching and amplitude matching was in the transformer differential, so they have started asking like what is phase matching and amplitude matching. So whenever you will discuss about the transformer differentials, of course there's a primary and secondary. The CT ratio is difference. So for primary and secondary, since current different ratio is different, so you will have a transformer differential current. For that regions, relay uses the phase matching and the amplitude matching characteristics. Accordingly, transformer differential is designed. So I'm not going to describe in details. Maybe if you will ask for that, then I can make a video on phase matching and amplitude matching. So the next questions that I have encountered was like relay communication, fault analysis and root cause analysis. Do you have any idea about the root cause analysis? How do you analyze the fault if any fault has happened in the switchgear and power system? So how do you act? So generally, whenever any fault occurs, normally we go and check the fault records, events record. So it is very necessary to communicate those relay with the softwares. However, you can also check those fault manually, but checking the faults by communicating the relay is good. You will have all the magnitude curves and all the details so that you can find out the exact root cause. Since the tripping occurs in cascade, so cascading effects, you can see that which feeders has tripped, uh, further which feather has tripped. So you will have a basic analysis of all the tripping record. So you can discuss all these things with your interviewer so that they can have confidence on you that you know the answers and you know the communications. So since I have mentioned all these things in my CV, so accordingly they are asking those questions. Their JD was their JD was the requirement was also to have a candidate who has a very known to root cause analysis, fault analysis. So they were checking on these topics also. So and the next question was the generator protections. You don't know on in which plant they are taking you for, maybe CPP or maybe some other plant. So generators plays a very important role. So you can study the generator protections. What are the generator protections, and about the protections, what type of protection is being used for the protection of the generator. You can have like overcurrent, earth fault, reverse power. stator earth fault, rotor earth fault, under frequency, over frequency, under voltage, over voltage. So you can go through all these protections, how these protection acts and how this protection works, what are the settings of these protections. So you can prepare for the interview if you have mentioned the generator protections in your CV, or you have worked in the thermal power plant where the generator is installed, and you have worked on the generator. So these kind of questions is being asked. So and the next question was, how do you test the transformer? Suppose you have a transformer, and what are the basic uh, tests you performed in the transformer. So if you have a knowledge of commissioning of a transformer, then you will have a basic idea about the generator testing. Like we take the insulation resistance value, then we check winding resistance, then we perform vector group test, then magnetic balance test, then magnetizing current we check. These are the protection that normally we check. Apart from these testings, we have some functional test of transformer, like Buchholz, PRV, WTI, OTI, MOG, alarm trippings level of this, we check. And we also have some testing of like while testing. While plays a very important role in the transformer. So these are the testings you have to go through if you are going to attend any interview. uh, so the next question was like, since Reliance, these are the oil and gas company, so the basic installation of those are flame proof type, because there's a hazards of fire, because uh, a lot of chemicals are involved which is flammable in nature. So they normally touch the flame proof type equipments like motors. Normally you have gone through about the fire triangle. This is a fire triangle. Oxygen is present in atmosphere. Flammable gases, air gas mixture is present in the atmosphere in uh, oil and gas sector. All you need is ignition source. So if you ignition source like motors and all these equipments, the sparks acts like ignition source for uh, this to get fire. So oxygen already present in the atmosphere, you will have a flammable gas already, vapor mixtures in the oil and gas industry. So ignition source, these motors, these electrical equipments acts like ignition source. It will complete the fire triangle. There may be fire hazards. Because of this, they use flame proof equipments. So you can have idea about these basic things when you are appearing for an interview in oil and gas sector. So electrical safety is very important. You should be aware about the electrical safety, since you're experienced persons and you're working on electrical. So electrical safety, you have to mention like what are the uh, practices you make in your plant, in your previous plant. You have like lotto system, lockout tagout system. Before working on the equipment, you just lock and tag out the equipment so that nobody can charge this equipment for the safety of the person. So these are the electrical safety that normally they ask. A sap related question, of course, if you're working on a maintenance, so you will have the maintenance planning things. So all these things, planning and maintenance planning, preventive maintenance, predictive maintenance, condition monitoring, all these things generated in the SAP. So you will have a basic idea. You should have a basic idea about the SAP things. The next question, like, what is the transformer maintenance and what is the condition monitoring? Since this is the equipment, transformer is static equipment, and most of the time it is in running condition. So all you need to monitor the condition of the transformers. So like, what are the pre-checks that we do for the transformer maintenance is like, you can say that you check leakage, leakage, any leakage, WTI temperature, OTI temperature, MOG, oil level. You will have a silica gel condition. So you can mention all those things for the monitoring of the transformer. And when you take the shutdown of the transformer, so what are the maintenance activity you perform in the transformer? Like we check normally IR, WR, and if NG is installed, then we clean and we check the NG resistance value. Cleaning of the transforms also included. We also check functional test. We perform functional test. These functional tests are working or not, by looping those protections. So these are the maintenance, preventive maintenance activity performed if we take the transformer shutdown. So the next question, like they will ask, they might ask, discuss one electrical faults which you came across and the way you handle it. What was your role? Since you are experienced personals, and many of the fault happens, in your company. So you have to discuss one of the fault and your role. Ki, what was the fault and how did you analyze? How did you detected the fault? How do you analyze and how did you, you know, uh, manage to think to overcome those electrical faults? So you can tell any electrical faults. The the basic tip is just to make a interviewer interested while you're discussing the electrical faults. So if discuss any one safety incident at your plant. This is actually Reliance, the big company, and they are very concerned about the safety things. So they might ask you discuss any safety incident that has in your plant. So if you have gone through any safety incidents, then you can discuss. But it's better, always describe that you have worked in the safe environment and you haven't gone through any safety incidents in your organization. So this is the just a pro tips. Next, they also touch the motor protections, setting value, what is DMT and IDMT, inverse definite time. So a lot of protections that we used in for the protection of motor, like here we also use overcurrent, earth fault, you know, negative phase sequence, a startup supervision we use. Then if the motor is rated in megawatt, like 1 megawatt, 2 megawatt, then we also use differential protection in the motor, rotor jam protection. These are the protection that we used, and you can have uh, all the settings, like basic setting for the percentage we use for our port, like we use 10% of the city ratio over current, you know we also have protection. Thermal overload we use 90% setting. So these are the basic settings that you have to remember in for the interview. We also use earth fault and overcurrent in two stages, like uh, we have definite time and we have IDMP time. So you can tell those settings. So the next question was like harmonic in the system and impact on electrical circuit. What is harmonics? Very important thing again. Like since we use many electronics equipment like UPS, VFD, battery charger, where the rectifiers and inverters are being used. So these are the sources of the harmonics. So these harmonics impact our electrical system, like they create a double frequency harmonics, which impacts the winding of the motor generator. So in that way you can tell the interviewer that about the harmonics and all these things. So a very basic system, any company will have these equipment for sure: VFD, UPS, battery charger. So you can have idea about what is VFD, what are the components of VFD, what is UPS, what are the component of UPS, the ratings of UPS, the make of UPS, with the battery system, like what kind of battery do you use in your system, like VRLA battery, nickel cadmium battery. So these are the types of battery, the discharging, how do you charge, discharge, 10C, 5C, what are the 10C, 5C. So you can have the basic idea about these things while going for the interview. And so again, my interview was uh, very long duration. So I was there for 45 minutes, almost 45 minutes. If the interviewer is taking time, like they are giving time to ask you the questions, and you are confidently giving the answers, the interviewer get interest on you, and they keep asking the questions, and it is very good thing, okay, that they are investing time on you, and you keep, giving the answers to all those questions is very good thing. You can understand that almost you are selected. And just so the power flow and the generation, voltage, transmission, distributions. My previous experience was in power plant, so they have asked like, uh, since our plant was connected with four or five plants, so how was the power flow of my equipment. You can also show then the SLD, single line diagram. Generation voltage, my generation voltage was 11 kV. Further it was stepping up to 132 kV. Then further step up to 400 kV, and it was the transmission voltage was like 400 kV. So these are the basic idea you can tell to the interviewer. What are limiters in AVR, automatic voltage regulator. Again they have started asking uh, questions related to generator. We use automatic voltage regulation to provide excitation supply to the generator, so there are limiters, uh, under excitation limiter, over excitation limiters. These are the limiters. Generators has to work with this capability curve. Capability curve, you can also go through with the capability curve. They can ask, if you cross these limits, then your rotor stator winding will be heated up. So in within this range, AVR has to work. For that reasons, you cannot over excite the transformer, uh, and also you cannot under excite the transformers, sorry, under excite the generators. So you have to be in within this limit of UL and OEL, over excitation limit. So you can describe all these things with interviewers. And process overview and previous power plant. This question is like, if you know, it is fine. If you don't know, then it is okay. No, you don't have an issue. But if you're working in any plant, you must have some basic process idea about how the process are working. And any previous, like, if there's a oil and gas, you will have a basic idea about the refinery things. And if you're working on a power plant, you will have a very basic idea about the power plant. So you can just have just a basic knowledge about these things, and we can discuss. So again, next question was DJ, dissolved gas analysis, gas formation inside a transformer. So in oil and gas sector, these parameters they maintain in every 1 or 2 years. They take the sample from the transformer, and they check the DJ, dissolved gas analysis, in the oil and gas. So you can have idea about the DJ. What are the gas formation like H2CO, CH4, C2H2, C2H4, C2H6. These are the gases that form. The acetylene C2H2 is the gas. These are flammable in nature. So though you can discuss about all these things with the interviewer. And thank you for these are the questions that has been asked in Reliance. So hope you going to prepare accordingly. And this will boost your confident while appearing for an interview. Thank you very much for having patience and listening to me. I hope I will come up with a very good video in very no time. Thank you for that. Keep watching, keep liking, keep sharing. Thank you very much.